Okay, so you're listening because you're heading to Daytona Beach for FFCC Championships.
Yeah.
And you need to know, like, all the ins and outs, right? You want to know how to make this a smooth, fun experience at the Ocean Center.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been poring over this director's guide for the 2025 championships, trying to pull out like the very essential need-to-know stuff about logistics, getting set up, getting around.
Yeah, for sure. So we're talking arrival, check-in, prop handling, parking, where to warm up all those pre-performance must-knows. Kind of like getting a sneak peek behind the scenes, so it's like zero surprises, right?
Exactly. And like you said, a smooth experience.
All right, so let's kick things off with arrival and check-in.
So one thing that the guide emphasizes over and over is you need to arrive early.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's not just like a suggestion. It's super important because you got to factor in parking and then going through check-in and unloading and just getting your bearings. You really can't afford to miss your performance time.
Right. That's a hard deadline.
So yeah, just build in that extra time.
Totally. No one wants to be like sprinting into the Ocean Center, right? So let's say you arrive. Where do directors need to head for check-in?
Director check-in is in room 103C. And that's on the south side of the building, more towards the west end.
Got it. Room 103C, west end of the south side. And what exactly do directors get when they check in?
So you get wristbands. You get 7 chaperone staff wristbands, plus 2 director wristbands. Unless you got a super mega pass, then obviously you get those extras. And then you'll also get your team's senior medals at director check-in.
Okay. And I noticed the guide is very specific about who should not be at check-in.
Right, yeah. There are a few things to remember. So first, you're not supposed to wear your season badge to championships.
Okay, makes sense.
And then, really importantly, don't bring any students or parents into the check-in room. And also, they ask that you keep the hallway outside of check-in clear, just so everything can flow smoothly.
Keep it moving, right. Now, what about directors who aren't performing that day but still need to be at the Ocean Center?
Yeah, so on those non-performing days, you can still get a daily wristband by going to the same room 103C. But they call it, like, VIP check-in on those days.
Okay, so same location, different name.
Right.
All right, so check-in, done. Now let's talk about prop drop-off and pickup. This can be a little bit of a logistical puzzle sometimes.
So for prop drop-off, you want to go to the loop in front of the Ocean Center, and you access that via Earl Street.
Okay, Earl Street, got it.
Yeah, just keep in mind this is drop-off only, no parking in the loop.
Yeah.
And of course, be super careful of pedestrians in that area.
Yeah, for sure. Safety first.
Yeah.
Now, how about after the performance? How do teams get their stuff back?
So there are 2 options for prop and floor pickup. You can meet your truck outside the Earl Street loading dock, which is near the arena prop drop-off.
Okay, so back to Earl Street.
Or you can meet your truck in the south lot. To get there, you just exit the building, take a left, and follow the sidewalk.
Gotcha. 2 options there. So I'm assuming no lugging props through the concourse, right?
Right. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No floors or props in the concourse at all.
Big no-no. Okay, now what about those equipment trucks themselves? Where do they go?
So equipment trucks and trailers that have a parking pass, and you'll get that at director check-in, those can go in and out of the south lot during the day.
South lot during the day.
But you can't park overnight in the south lot. For overnight, you got to look at the west lot.
Okay, what about the loading dock? Are there any rules about that?
Yeah. They lock the loading dock when the building closes. And if a team delays loading out and the building closes late, the team may be billed for that extra time.
Wow, yeah. So be mindful of the clock there.
Definitely. So speaking of the clock, do you want to go over the opening times?
Yeah, I think those are super important to have on hand. So South lot check-in and prop storage, what are we looking at for each day?
So on Thursday, those all open at 10:30 a.m. Friday, they open at 8:30 a.m. And Saturday, they open at 6:30 a.m. Sunday is still TBD. They haven't finalized that yet.
Okay, noted. Okay, so we've tackled arrival check-in props. Let's move on to everyone's favorite topic.
Yeah.
Parking.
Oh, boy.
The eternal struggle. So where should spectators park?
For spectators, they strongly recommend the garage at Aura Street, Earl Street, and AIA. It's $15 per day, and they take cash or card.
It's good to know. And what about the teams and buses?
So teams and cars can use that same garage, same price. $15 per space per day. Buses have to go to the west lot or Lot C overflow, which is on Main Street.
Main Street, okay.
Same price, $15 per space per day. And if they need to park overnight, the west lot is $30 per space per night, cash or card.
All right, and what happens if those lots fill up? Because I know there's another event happening, right?
Yeah, so as a backup, they mentioned the Bel Air Plaza Publix, which is about 2 miles north. They say it's usually good for overflow bus parking.
Okay, good to have a plan B.
Now, about the south lot again. We know it's for equipment trucks during the day, just to be super clear. Who can park there?
Only equipment trucks and trailers. And they have to have a pass from director check-in. They can go in and out during the day, but they have to be out by the end of the day. No overnight parking in the South Lot.
Okay, no overnighting there. What if you're staying at the Hilton? The Hilton lot is for hotel guests only. And they mention the Peabody lot too. But they say that's a different parking company, so the prices might be different.
Yeah, so check on that one.
Ah.
Okay, parking is always an adventure. Moving on to warm-up areas.
So for color guard, warm-up will be in the ballrooms. And they also suggest using the grassy areas in front of the Ocean Center.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if teams are warming up outside, are there any rules or restrictions?
Yeah, definitely. So you can't block any walkways or traffic. And no running cords inside or across roads. That's a fire code violation. And of course, don't block any of the building entrances.
Okay, all very logical.
Yeah.
So any places specifically off limits for warm-up?
Yeah, they specifically say not to warm up by the spectator entrances. Got to keep those areas clear.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
What about percussion and winds? Is there outdoor space for them to warm up?
They say that the South Lot, which has been used for that in the past, is not available for percussion and winds warm-up this year.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So those groups will have to find somewhere else, keeping in mind all those restrictions we talked about.
Exactly. Now on to another important topic, dressing rooms.
Oh, yeah. Are there dressing rooms available?
This is big. No, there are no dressing rooms at the Ocean Center. So the guide is very clear, and I want to emphasize this. Your team must arrive in full uniform.
No exceptions.
None.
Okay, so arrive performance ready. What about restrooms for teams that are warming up?
They do have restrooms near the prop drop-off entrance, but they ask that no more than 2 students from a team go to the restroom at a time.
Okay.
And they need to have their wristbands on, and they emphasize this is just a courtesy, you know?
Yeah, that makes
They're
sense.
trying to be accommodating.
Right, for sure. So no stretching or anything like that in the hallways, I'm assuming?
Nope, they're very clear about that. No stretching or warm-up in any hallway or indoor space that's not a designated warm-up area.
Okay, stick to the warm-up zones. Got it. So what's the deal with this courtesy bag drop?
So the courtesy bag drop is in room 102, but it's not secure storage.
Okay, so nothing valuable in there.
Right. And they ask that you don't linger there and that parents wait outside.
Okay, so in and out, quick drop-off. Now, how about team photos?
So team photos are scheduled as part of your team's rotation. They happen in room 101.
Okay, room 101.
And parents are supposed to wait outside. No extra paperwork needed, though. And they say there will be plenty of time to regroup and get to rotation after the photos.
Sounds good. What if a team doesn't want to do team photos?
They just need to tell the staff at director check-in. Team photos are offered Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And they say you can see and buy them online at www.ffcc.org/photographs.
Cool, so you can get those memories later. Okay, so let's walk through the whole rotation process. How do color guards and winds get into the performance area?
So their entry for rotation isn't clearly marked on the map in the guide, but it looks like it's near the bag drop and team photos area. And then after they perform, they exit through the loading dock where they can meet their truck, or they can go left to the South Lot. And they suggest using wagons to take shoes from the bag drop to the performance entrance.
Wagons for shoes. That's a good tip.
What about percussion? Percussion enters through the giant roll-up door on the east side of the building.
Okay, makes sense for all their equipment. Now, we mentioned VIP check-in earlier, so who exactly qualifies for that and what are the rules?
So it's for advisory board members, Hall of Fame inductees, humanitarian award recipients, and then also directors on days when their teams aren't performing.
Okay, so those are the VIPs. And what do they need to know about using it?
VIP check-in is in the same room as regular director check-in room 103C. But there's a separate table for VIPs. They ask that you don't hang out in the room, and you have to be the official director of record to get your wristband or badge.
Okay, so you can't send someone else to get it for you.
Right. And really importantly, you have to have photo ID with you.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. They say the staff may not know everybody, and they ask for your understanding if you're not prepared.
Right. So have your ID ready. Okay, now let's say you want to take a break and watch some performances. Where do spectators go in?
You can use either of the doors that go to the West Concourse. Once you're in the concourse, you go through the main spectator entrance, then through the lobby to the stairs, and then you enter the arena through portal A or B on the second floor. And performer seating is on the second level or on the sides.
Okay, and just a reminder, grab your stuff from the courtesy bag drop before you go in, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't forget your stuff.
Okay, now let's talk about spectator logistics. You know, families and friends are going to want to know all this stuff.
Right, so spectators have 2 entrances they can use. the north entrance of the West Concourse or the south entrance of the West Concourse. And those are by the water slides and the Peabody Auditorium.
Okay, easy enough to find. And where should they park?
They recommend the garage at AIA and Oral Street. And remember, tickets are online only through Eventbrite.
Yeah, Eventbrite only.
But then you have to go to the indoor box office to get your wristband. And you need the wristband to get in. Just the ticket won't get you in.
Wristband is key. Got it. So when should people buy their tickets?
Ticket sales are open until the end of each flight or until they sell out. So you definitely want to buy early.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
And what time does the building open each day?
Doors open 1 hour before the first performance of the day.
Okay. And is there an age limit for needing a ticket?
Yep. Everyone over 6 needs a ticket.
So keep that in mind if you have little ones.
Oh.
Now, there's also a rule about tripods and monopods.
Yes. Absolutely. No tripods or monopods allowed in the venue.
Period. No exception.
No exceptions. And if you're into photography, you should probably check out the full media policy just to be safe.
Good call. Now, for those who can't be there in person, is there a live stream?
Yes. The whole event is being streamed on BOX5 TV.
Awesome. So people can watch from anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about retreat. Are there any logistical things teams need to know about retreat?
So all award ceremonies are full retreat ceremony.
Meaning everybody has to be there.
Right, in full uniform. For the top 3 teams, the staff comes down to the floor to get the medals. But parents and everyone else stays in the stands. And they also do scholarships and special awards during retreat.
Okay, so what happens right after retreat?
After retreat, everyone has to exit the building to take pictures. They need to clear the space so they can either set up for the next event or close the building.
Keep things moving, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. What about the senior medals?
If you pre-ordered your senior medals, you'll get those at director check-in. If not, you can buy them at the merchandise booth. They're $10 each. And they recommend giving them to students before retreat.
Good thinking. So you're all set for the ceremony? Are there any items that are not allowed on the floor during retreat?
Oh, yeah, there's a whole list. No loose glitter balloons, feathers, or boas confetti, silly string liquids. Basically anything that could damage the floor or be hard to clean up.
That makes sense. You don't want to be the team that gets glitter everywhere.
Right, plus they say you could get fined or even disqualified. So yeah, leave that stuff at home.
So how does the whole awards ceremony lineup work?
You just have to listen for announcements about when and where to line up. They're pretty good about communicating that. And they also really emphasize being respectful of all the teams and good sportsmanship, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Good sportsmanship is key. Now let's circle back to the media policy. What's the deal with personal photos and videos?
So like we said, no media credential is needed for personal photos, but no flash photography. And you're only supposed to take pictures of your own group. And you can't sell any of those pictures without permission from FFCC.
Okay, pretty standard. And just to reiterate, no tripods or monopods, right?
Right, none of that. And also, no personal video recording. The only authorized video is from BOX5 Media.
All right, so leave the videoing to the pros. Now, what about the solo and duet championships? Anything unique about the logistics for Sunday?
So the solo and duet championships are on Sunday, March 30th in Ballrooms A&C, and Meeting Room 101 spectator admission is free.
Oh, that's nice.
But there's no live stream. And just a heads up, percussion might still be warming up and doing rotation stuff on Sunday morning. Awards are right after the last performance in each ballroom.
Okay, good to know. Now, tell me about this PAHS for Pas de Boys thing.
So PAHS is partnering with the Halifax Humane Society. They're the official charity for the championships. And they'll have donation drop-off spots throughout the event.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they have a wish list, too. Things like peanut butter churro, dog treats, cat teaser toys, treat pouches, Nylabones.
Oh, so cute.
Okay.
Last but not least, food and drinks.
So there are concessions in the concourse. And they say there are a bunch of restaurants across the street, but no outside food or drinks allowed in the arena. And no tailgating or cooking in the parking lots.
So many rules.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But hey, at least you'll be prepared.
That's the goal, right? What about vendors?
Yes, they have vendors on the concourse and in the lobby, and they encourage you to support them.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there's FFCC merchandise, too.
Right, that's in the concourse. They take cash and card.
Perfect. So we have covered a ton of ground here.
Yeah.
Anything else people should know to really feel prepared?
Honestly, just knowing all this stuff ahead of time is going to make the whole weekend go so much smoother, whether you're a director, staff performer, or spectator.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And like the guide says, be flexible, be patient, be kind. It's a big event and things don't always go perfectly.
Right, exactly. So as you get ready for Daytona, just take a minute to think about all this information and then get excited about the performances and, just the whole experience of being at FFCC Championships.
So with all that in mind, what are you most excited about for FFCC Championships? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
My pleasure.
See you in Daytona.
See you in there.